Nobody's watching! Nobody's watching! Hello and welcome to Dev Talk. Today we're gonna discuss the season 2 finale of Andor. Star Wars, it's back! What do you guys think of this spectacular show? Star Wars is great again.
It was great and now it's over. So
Oh.
I don't know if it will keep being great. That's the issue now.
The first season, when it came out, a lot of lukewarm reactions. Like, it wasn't getting the hype and not getting the numbers. Eventually, it grew a reputation, also thanks to the accolades and the awards it won. So, like, the prestige TV drama thing definitely boosted its view count. It's really fun to see that so many people care about the show now. And I see that on the internet, there's plenty of reactions and jokes and pictures posted. For the first season, you could go a week without like seeing any spoilers. But now, for this season, it was different. Mm-hmm. Like the next day, you're gonna get spoiled if you're online and watching.
You had to get on it.
So that's the big difference, and I'm really glad. And it's a shame that, it's over in a sense, because we don't know if we're ever gonna get Star Wars with this caliber again for a long time. Now that Disney's reassessing the whole thing, and the next live action show we're getting is Ahsoka Season 2, which is wrapping up that series. Now, everyone did watch Rogue One right after Season 2 ended. We are also in the same boat, saying it does change how you view the movie. There's an investment that's so different now. Like, so many details that they put in the whole series that just add so much value. For example, there's a little quote in the movie where it says, "Those are the keepers of the wills." And I go, "Oh, how did I miss that the first time as I was watching Rogue One, back then? I haven't seen it since." But now I say, well, that's a reference to, of course, the General of the Wills from George Lucas' Star Wars. So this film was already paying way more respect than the real sequel trilogy, which we're not going to talk about in the video, by the way. We're just going to talk about Andor and Rogue One, which is great. Everyone should see it. Please be patient. Please don't give up, because it rewards you on every level. And now let's hear what David had to say about the show.
I don't know why we have to beg people to watch it, because like, if you don't like shows that take their time with like setup, then it's like you don't like 90% of like
TV.
of TV. I mean, like, you have stuff like, you have shows that like are intense, like The Boys or Game of Thrones, but those are still shows that take time to set up. There's so many good shows in modern media right now where like there is
pacing, right?
Where there is like a pacing, but because atmosphere and acting and writing makes it worth the time it takes. And like, it's kind of nice to see that slower, let's call it paced stuff is still appreciated. And Andor did the exact same thing as all of these other ones, except for people just didn't have the patience for it because I know you just said we weren't going to talk about it, but because the sequel trilogy is so good, because people didn't like people were divisive even on Rogue One when it came out, on Solo, on and stuff like that, and people didn't, and people have been a little tired of Star Wars from a lot of different angles. And therefore just didn't want to give it the time investment they just gave to all these other shows that are just as slow paced as this one is. And honestly, the slow paced one is the first season, really. And the second season is kind of all party, except for the second arc, which, back when we discussed it, was the slow arc. Everything else, arc 3 and 4, are just as go get them.
Yeah.
I loved it. I liked it a lot. I think it's super fun. I think that every aspect of the show was really fun for me, from every character to the story to development. I called it that we were never going to touch on his sister again. I knew it from day one.
You called it.
I was like, that was there in the writing room, and clearly was just not going to fit in the aesthetic of the show we're creating anymore. It'll just become a character plot point of that's just one more thing he failed in his life, in his perspective. He failed his mom, he's failed his country, he's failed his sister, he failed his girlfriend, he's that thing of loss.
He didn't fail the rebellion, okay?
Right, but he didn't fail the rebellion, exactly. But that's exactly the thing, right? Hero. So like, it's all these things where he tried with his best intentions but ended up in the shitter, right? Yeah. And like that's the one thing the show does amazingly, which is showing you that like that good of evil, that evil of good. those nuances in the of people, where like Cyril was never a bad person. He was just the person that wanted order. He thought this guy was just murdering Ferrex guards, goes after him. He goes, well, obviously the leading power in the galaxy is the Empire. Not like he really wanted to be specifically Imperial. He was happy being a Ferrex guard.
Yeah.
And then down the path, he meets this girl that's just as order-oriented as him. He clearly falls in love. And then he also gets to experience people on a first-hand basis there, and understanding that there is a bit of complexity, but also realizes he was lied to. He was like, oh, I was here to catch rebels. And then I realized, wait a minute, we were creating the rebels. Why was I here? Like, what was here just to subjugate these
There's
people?
so much going on in that moment.
And that's the thing, because
every single part of the writing has so much thing going on. It's so dense.
And you can be the kind of person that goes, I hate Cyril because he was too stupid to open his eyes early, or it could be like, or he was just the tool of this empire that just uses and disposes you until he realized what actually was going on.
And then he sees the guy who started it all.
Yeah, there he is, and then we just take it out on him. Because that moment, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna take it out on this guy." Like he's the reason I've gone on this whole insane journey where the past 10 years of my life or whatever I've been going down, and like.
And Gilroy pushed for this line of, "Who are you?"
Oh,
because like you're gonna say that line. You're not gonna say anything else. No matter what you try to tell me, you're gonna say that line. I'm gonna title the episode "Who are you?" Just so we keep the line. Oh my god, That's how Cyril goes.
Yeah, fantastic. Deidre, same thing. There's someone that just dedicated her life to an empire and a machine that is easy to ignore from an outside perspective. It's easy to order the destruction and genocide of people when you're not looking at it. But then you're there in the moment and you see the impact you're having. You are killing people. This is the planning. And again, she wasn't really eager to join Krennic's plan. She didn't want to join it. She felt like, I'd rather stick on my Axis thing.
But she still did it, and in the end, she still kept being an Imperial.
Yeah, she did. And because what are you gonna do? So, your boyfriend, or I guess at that point ex-boyfriend, died in the shootout, in the Gorman massacre, and then at the end of the day, Deidre gets a cell. For all her dedication and hard work, she gets a cell.
But I wonder how long will she be in that cell if the rebellion gets the Death Star a couple of days later?
But the answer is
I guess
she could have been released maybe by the New Republic. Right.
Exactly. But how many years is that from?
We don't know.
Let's see, because 5 years. The rebellion wars last 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
So 5 years from then, she could have been released by the Republic.
So she got away. She got away clean.
She could have. They could be like, why'd you arrest her? Oh, because you were like negligible of Imperial information. Oh, maybe you let her go.
Or she died in prison just by hard work, hard labor, because those prisons were insane.
Death Star 2. Busy building the Death Star numero 2,
Or just executed in the last days of the Empire, when trying to get rid of everyone.
Yeah,
right?
Who knows, right? It's the kind of thing of you never see the character again, it doesn't matter. The story that she fulfilled her story. If she gets brought back, you could tell a story of perspective, but then do it right, obviously.
Yeah, and she was going to go home and be the hero.
Right.
And then the consequence of the massacre that I helped orchestrate and create.
Yeah.
Then Cyril dies in that massacre, and she's having her own moment of panic, like okay, I also got wounded because of this thing. I'm gonna live with that, and that's the thing about the show. Even these villains.
That's the thing. And then you have someone like Krennic, who is just pure evil, like Tarkin. These people that don't give a fuck. They're just are just as bad as Palpatine, which is why he chose them, right? There's a reason they're the ones below him. Because they're just as they're just as evil as he is. There he is, fucking poking her head or whatever. Hilarious.
That became a meme now. So
there you go, improv.
Great improv.
But that's the thing. It's but then you have Krennic, which is just this hilariously villain. The only thing he's missing is the mustache, right? And it's just it's such a funny thing to me that people still complain about Star Wars. I've seen people bitch about the Force healer. I've seen people, and I'm like, do you not understand that all of these pieces are part of this whole thing? I didn't actually watch Episode 4 after Rogue One. I'm planning on rewatching the original trilogy in the next few days. So we've watched Andor, then Rogue One, then I went straight into Episode 4. Yeah. And I went, oh, cool. And then you're going to go straight into the fucking whiny boy with a glow stick. So, it is the world. It is part of the whole thing. And then you're going to hear inconsistencies about his ancient religion and all this stuff that Star Wars has always constantly goddamn had. It's Gilderoy said that the one thing canon he full out ignored was the K2SO story, because in the years between Rogue One and Andor, there was a comic about how him and K2SO met. It doesn't matter, throw that in the trash. He showed it. And that's kind of the problem with this stuff like this in lore. Whilst he also tried to respect Rebels, though, and how Mon Mothma is taken by... So he's trying to respect as much of canon as he could, which is one of the things in modern Star Wars is hard to try to want to read and these books, because some of these just become non-canon, or their lore just kind of doesn't matter anymore.
It's not the only one.
No, it isn't. So what's the point of me buying
and
these
with
goddamn
the video
books?
games as well,
the only video
really
game so far in the canon lore they have is the Battlefront 2 story mode and the Jedi series. Those are the only two games within their canon as of now.
But it's a passing of torch from series to movie to the other movie.
But it's just, I think there's a big piece for me where like people are so like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this show didn't have lightsabers and all that stuff, and that's what made it good. I'm like, no, if there would have been a lightsaber in that show and things would have been, should have just been used the same way everything was used, appropriately. It's about how we use it.
People say that they want lightsabers and it's going to be good, but then you look at like Acolyte and it's not good, and it has a lot of lightsabers. So
and it's like, and again, the problem with Acolyte for me is the ending. I'll stay to the end of the day.
Let's not talk about Acolyte.
Fine. I loved it. I think it's an excellently fun show. It's one that I know I'll rewatch in my life. It was so goddamn good. It was so good that watching Rogue One, I went, how the fuck did any of us like Rogue One? Because watching the show, it feels like I have a compendium of understanding of it. This movie just feels like, I was looking and going, this movie was shit without any of this context. How did anyone like it? And then I realized, oh yeah, most people don't like Rogue One until the final moment. So actually, that does make sense. Because most people didn't really like Rogue One, but luckily that movie ends on a high enough note of that final battle, and that made people get excited, go, okay, here we go, we're fighting. And having the one move of killing all the characters made people go, all right, fair enough. So I think Rogue One initially got a lot of points, and again, everyone fucking gets a little rock hard for that Vader scene, and I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking great. That's the thing that annoyed me. Another one. I was like, there we are, people complaining about the lightsaber stuff and all that stuff, right? But there you are, Gilderoy, you watch Rogue One, and guess what happens as soon as Andor dies? Because those characters, the story are over. Now what's left is the New Hope. So the first thing we do is we go to Vader. It's like there is thematic, there is logic behind it. Seeing Vader cut down that room, when I was watching the movie, I was almost like, oh god, the Vader scene? Because of the goddamn internet negativity of like, oh, I shouldn't see a lightsaber in this part of the Star Wars and the lore. And then I let go of that bullshit and went, no, that's fucking awesome. The same way I personally...
That scene was always awesome.
The same way...
That's one I do stand by, even though I'm a kind of a Disney Star Wars hater. But
it's like it's just fun. It's like good. I love seeing Vader be Vader, and that's the few times. Oh my god, that's what I like whenever you get to see that. And I know you, Emilio, disagree with it because you don't like the Leia scene, but I personally like it. I like seeing Leia there, being like, we got hope. I don't know. To me, that was enough. It wasn't too.
Watchard, we did a review about
which
Rogue One, I think.
Now is retrospectively has changed because the story itself, the way we perceive it, has changed though.
True.
Because of this series.
Yeah.
It does
you
contextualize
point with that.
It's like that's why I said like I don't understand how any of us liked this when it first came out.
So he's like the main scientist behind it.
Yeah, and point is they want Jun Erso, his daughter, to be like, yo, where your daddy at? We need to like talk to him about the Death Star because that's not cool. The Rebels is basically just the Spanish guy or whatever, the Mexican guy.
I was super skeptical about Andor, for example, when it was announced.
Oh,
like,
me too.
I don't care about Andor.
I said it since day one. I still remember the jokes I used to make. You know the one.
Yeah. Look at us now.
Look at us now. Thank you, Andor. Thank you,
Best
Gilderoy.
Character.
Can we get him back, Mr. Gilderoy? Do another Star Wars,
but
please?
I interrupt you. You were saying something, David.
More brutal, though. I want an R-rated Star Wars.
Money shot. You'll never get that, dude. Like, seriously. You'll never get that. Unless that film gets popular and we buy the rights to Star Wars. Rogue One! It was good.
So I think they should have even got more brutal, because there's some parts in it where we can see they have some hints, but we need more of that shit.
Well, amazing. I mean, this is, again, the best Star Wars since Star Wars. Like, it's almost like it's not gonna get better than this. Honestly, I think like we reached the peak Star Wars, and we'll see what happens. So it's kind of like bittersweet watching it. Like watching Andor walk into that ship is like, well, there he is walking into the last, and the ship flying away from good riding. Goodbye.
Oh.
No, it's just like, it's not just a good Star Wars show, it's just a good show overall as well.
Yeah.
Like
stands on
it's-
its own. It does.
That's the gold standard.
exactly.
Because like you said, right now we're all like, yeah, Empire's evil and they're assholes. But like eventually we're gonna want to see more than just that. We're gonna want to say, okay, well, are they people? And eventually people are gonna want to see it.
Well, people do want to see it.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
So
So
I think-
eventually,
And the message, I feel like it's universal. It's a universal message. Like everyone can like get behind it, especially like having to tie it into today's world. It's like even more relevant.
Well, the store's
than ever.
political because it always was. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, like it's, I don't know. Like yes, you could say it's political, but at the same time, like what's political about not wanting to be
Being a
like,
fascist
oppressed?
regime,
You know what I mean?
right?
Like,
Well, that's political,
Do you want to
Emilio.
be oppressed? Like
Yeah,
what-
no,
like,
that's it's sometimes you think the answer is yes, the way they talk about it. You're like, what do you want?
like yeah. So I don't understand how people are like, oh, it's getting political, but like, okay. I get-
Lucas
yeah.
clearly
I mean,
it's funny.
wanted that to be a part of it. Yeah, but to teach lessons, that's what it's all about.
soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the soundtrack.
Oh,
like,
right.
days
Yeah,
after
me too.
watching the
Me too.
show.
Damn, I've been missing out. I need to get on it.
I've been listening to like
Sorry, Reddit.
the, for example, the one where it's like, I guess like the epic theme one, like when they're like, when she's doing the hologram speech, for example.
Yeah,
Listen to that
Marva,
at the
the
gym, like
eulogy,
getting
yeah.
inspired, like getting
Oh,
ready to
yeah.
fight.
Fight
So
these
like that's good
bastards.
gym motivation music.
the past and
I
present
recommend
and
that if
future.
there's any gym
Barracks.
people.
Yeah, it's the past and future.
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Past and Future is the best one, definitely.
That's the picture, huh?
Past and present,
Amazing.
future. Really, really
Nice,
good.
nice. I gotta get on that.
And then it transitions over to being a bit more orchestral from being more electronic in the first season.
Yeah.
So it really, there's a seamless transition over into the Rogue One and earning all these Star Wars elements. I feel like it's like a natural
Yeah.
progression over to that movie, to the point where like at the first scene when Andor is doing his thing, it's like, yeah, yes, let's go, Andor, you know. You feel that way during the
No,
first
of
scene.
course, of course.
Some people noticed, a friend of mine mentioned it too, that every episode intro has a different like
Pauli
theme.
said it back in the day.
Yeah. Maybe
That's
we
your
already
friend.
talked about this.
Was it
And then they all, well, someone else mentioned this, not, maybe Paul also mentioned it, but then they all connect into one like big track or something like that.
the first time watching season 1 was a challenge dealing with the pace and tempo at the beginning because it's so different from the rest of the Star Wars tempo.
Yes.
Faster, more intense. Now rewatching it,
Yeah.
like the first 3 episodes, for example, like I felt the most immersed I've ever felt in those 3 episodes. Just all the details, all the nuances, and I'm going, yeah, when Star Wars all over the place. I'm seeing all these like weirdo robots and different things here. Like it's definitely part of the same aesthetic. This 70s Lucasfilm.
When did the show like click for you, if you know what I mean? Like if this-
Oh.
from season 1, like first when you guys were watching for the first time, when did the show like click for you?
Oh,
When
yeah.
did you realize like, okay, shit, this is good?
A combination of episode 4 and 6 with the Aldani heist. But I think it was by
Okay.
episode 7 where I went, okay, yeah, this is my favorite one. That's how it went.
Emilio? Do
For
you
me,
know?
it was season 1, episode 3,
Wow.
definitely. Like
Cool.
I think for me, I noticed that like, okay, this is different. It was not okay. Of course, we had the whole brothel scene and like this a little darker, him
Yeah.
assassinating someone, but it really clicked for me in episode 3, in the like when the security guys came in and the shootout began, because it was just filmed and like
Yeah.
the action sequences made different.
Yeah.
It felt real and it felt like
Yeah.
well, like this wasn't just some basic Star Wars bullshit. Like this was like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just more intense.
Yeah.
And
I
then
agree.
just with the whole like past and present soundtrack kicking in and him deciding to go on top of the ship, the whole action sequence and the bomb exploding in the street. Like for me, from that was like, okay, this is shit's gonna be great.
The dialogue was a big standout. Like they talk in a different way. Like
In the like
yeah,
abandoned.
like and you watch it again, you go, oh, that little detail, oh, that little detail, oh, that little detail. Like it keeps giving you.
That's definitely been the show throughout, right? Though, but it's like this constant double speech for everything. Like everything has double meaning
There
to
you
what
go.
everyone says. There's a direct meaning. There's the underlying meaning. There's the meaning reflected when it comes to like the rebellion. The way you have to be smart about saying your shit about like just coming out and saying, oh yeah, I want to be a terrorist within this regime or whatever, or rebel.
Yeah.
Flat out
You
saying,
my terrorist is your rebel. Yeah.
flat out saying stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do I hate the Empire? Oh, like, I was telling Pauli, we need more sex position. Game of Thrones. That's how you make Star Wars good, right, Pauli?
Yeah.
That's why he hates the Empire.
Yeah. The joke was in the middle of coitus, he goes, and that's why I hate the Empire Bigs. Okay. That's how you get people's attention.
But when did it, for you, David, when did it click? 'Cause for you, it was a little slower.
Life had happened, and I had seen the first episode like 7 times or something, to the point where I was a little like tired of it. But I knew like I couldn't just like every single time there was just like such a big gap between the second. By the time I watched it again, I was like, okay, I should watch it again before I watch the second episode. Like it was one of those things. Or I'd watch the second episode or the third one, maybe. So like I had started watching the show like several times over. And that made it a little hard to want to get back into it, because it's that thing of like, okay, here I go watching the same goddamn story over and over again if I get this to the other stuff. So like, and because of that, I think there was a bit more of a slowness to me. 3, I definitely agree that like actually getting that shootout, and with the Ferrex guards or whatever you want to call them, like security
Like it's the
system.
corporate guards.
The corpos.
Those poor guys.
That stuff was great. Fuck those guys. That stuff was great. I really liked it. And yes, the Aldani heist is also really great. And then the prison stuff was a little slower for me. But I still liked it personally.
That just sealed the deal.
I enjoyed it, but there was something about it for me because I just have a thing with mediums where you kind of have your character stuck in a location that kind of always bugs me the wrong way. Like I feel like usually it feels like that's like the lazy filmmaker way of doing
But
things
one way out
sometimes.
though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. That stuff was great.
He changes the moves.
Yeah.
No, I know. I agree.
Changes the moves.
I know. I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you. And then of course I love the final arc of first season 2, obviously, with the whole like fight against and all that stuff. And I love all of season 2. But I'd say the click. Yeah, I'd say probably episode 3. If I have to try to be honest with myself, probably that's where just that whole scene was great. I remember loving the moment of that whole chaos. And I think the thing that really made me love it was when that fucking dumbass goes in the ship to call for backup out of their own stupidity, and then the ship got like locked by Brazo. No, by what's our good boy's name?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he does it, right?
Brazo.
Yeah, he locks the ship down, so the guy takes over, doesn't realize, and then he fucking just like slings himself and explodes and dies. Like, how many are there? And there's no one. He killed himself. And like it's like you guys don't even know. There's no one here. You're killing each other. Like you fools, but that level of like incompetence and all that, but it was just brilliant. I loved it because of that whole thing, and
this show made me care about learning the names of the characters.
Damn,
I said something.
Okay, do you not usually remember Star Wars names, or?
I usually do.
Okay, there you go.
But there's so much Star Wars out there,
I guess.
You don't know Bob Shido or whatever.
Glub Shido, yeah, my favorite character, Glub Shido, probably.
Wait, who's Glub Shido?
I don't think there is a Glub Shido character, but he's become a meme. As Glub Shido. Yeah,
seeing Yavin 4 now in fruition.
Yeah, of course, great. Always love seeing Yavin. I love the Yavin stuff. I told you, I love the Force sensitive scene because it wasn't down my throat. It wasn't, and it was enough. Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people misunderstood it too.
Super misunderstood it.
They were like saying he's the chosen one.
Yeah, it's shit like that. It's like that's not. Yeah,
it's just got a destiny,
Exactly. Like there's those people that are like going towards an end, like kind of thing.
He was now sure of his like goal, kind of like before he was unsure, but now like Andor is the rebel guy.
A major theme in the show: choices. Everyone has a value and a place in the universe. And we can help make it better.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for these characters, there would be no space for Luke, Leia, and Han to go on the archetypical hero's journey in those classic films. So it's wonderful that there is another kind of genre space here that shifts and seamlessly transitions over to more classical. Some of these other shows, that's a bit more style over the substance. Oh, here's the monsters, the pews, and the whole special cameo, right? And sometimes it's really fun. Like I loved seeing Luke at the end of Mandalorian. It was amazing, best thing I ever saw.
Oh yeah.
But this stands with you longer because of every character has, like I joked, so much going on. What do you think about Luthen? One of the most complex characters we've gotten.
He's probably one of the best Star Wars characters. Like,
he's
up there now with the top 10, maybe top 15 at least.
There you go. Started the rebellion.
Yeah, Luthen.
Yeah.
Like the Palpatine of the rebellion.
I mean, yeah.
How dare you compare it to Palpatine?
Yeah,
How
Well,
dare
because he's
you? a
playing the
good
different
man.
sides, right? Like he's that person
You would not.
who's like
None of you would be
orchestrating.
here for it wasn't for him.
No, if it wasn't for him, there would be no rebellion. Did you feel surprised by the reveal of his backstory?
I remember you saying that it wasn't necessary for me to like the character, and I still stand by that. I don't think it would have been necessary for me to like him more or less, honestly. But I did appreciate it. I still liked it, whilst also feeling like it didn't. I don't know how to put it. Like, I think what I wanted out of if you're gonna do a backstory for me, it doesn't really matter why he hated the Empire type of thing for me. Like, okay, you were a soldier. You
Yeah.
could have been a guy that one of them pushed over his melons one day. He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna burn the Empire just because of that. Like, you'd have been as petty as you wanted about it. Like, for me, it didn't really matter. I think for me, it would have been a bit more of like, where did you really come from? Why did you join the Imperial Army? That's the kind of stuff that would have mattered.
Yeah.
I say quotation marks.
He was
to
a
me more.
sergeant, right? Like a sergeant
Right.
in the
Well, I
military.
guess it was more of Clea's backstory, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the
than
thing.
Luthen's
I
backstory.
agree. It was more of a Clea thing.
Because
And
it's
yes,
all from her perspective too, in the end. So it's her backstory, not Luthen's.
yeah, or rail or whatever. Fuck, everyone's losing their shit over. Oh, okay.
It's a detail.
yeah,
trivia.
I don't get it, but whatever.
No, well, because he made his name be back.
Yes, he says he's as clever as Ben Kenobi. I get it. Like, welcome to Star Wars. No one will ever figure it out.
Well, because it isn't in your face. It's just if you read the
Sir,
subtitles.
it's as clever. I'm just saying, like, within the lore of the
Wait,
characters.
is his name backwards?
Apparently, that's all he did. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Just the same way he went by fucking Ben Kenobi. He still kept Kenobi.
But he
for
was
fuck's
just some
sakes.
random Imperial sergeant. So like he's like one in a millions anyway.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because Andor fought in the Battle of Mimble, which is the same battle depicted at the beginning of Solo Star Wars story, where Han Solo is.
Who fought in the battle, you said?
Andor.
Andor. He
Andor.
says he fought in the Battle
When
of
did
Mimble.
Andor
When did
fight
they
in
say
that
that?
battle?
He says that in season 1, I fought in the Battle of Mimble when I was 16.
As an Imperial.
Turns out we were fighting
Andor?
ourselves.
Oh.
And then
I didn't know Andor was part of the Imperial
yeah,
Army.
in episode 4, he says that
Damn,
to
I missed
Luthen.
that. Okay.
The performance and the writing of this character already gives you the sense that there's so much history with him
Yeah.
that you can just imagine that he, for example, like walked across the whole desert to get to point A.
Mm.
It's right there in the way
Yeah.
the character presents himself. So I also felt like the
Yeah.
mystery box element actually works here because you do the backstory for real and he has it in his head while he's performing, and also the creators and the directors knowing who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference. J.J. Abrams. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I wasn't supposed to do that. That's what we needed. We didn't need more than that. I'm pretty happy with it myself. Sad to see him go. You talk to pigs behind my back. You don't do that.
That's right.
That's the risk you're taking.
That's right.
Like he's so unapologetic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have
He's
friends
an
elsewhere.
Well,
But you're compelled by him.
right, exactly. A compelling asshole.
Stan Skarsgård, he's in Star Wars. What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican and a Swede playing the main characters. And
Feel
Yeah.
represented.
we feel represented. We do. And that's never an issue in this show. Remember that, people. It's never an issue. Writing,
What?
good directing, all that matters. That's how you fix this. That's how you get past all
It's
these
that
complaints.
simple. It's just that simple. It's just sure it's not simple to write good, but like you just put some effort into it.
Write what you care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do. That
Right,
is
what you care.
that is the truth.
Yeah, because Gilroy, if you didn't know like some of the backstory here, they wrote other episodes for the original season 1. Sundance Kid, Butch Cassidy, like We're on the Run Rebels, K2SO, and Andor. Gilroy read those and said, "Oh, this is feels constraining and repetitive. And here's my pitch. Let's do it this way." And that's why it took another year of development, and they restarted it. And plus, Diego Luna also joined in as a producer, and he had his own ideas. for
It's
things.
more of a it's a show that feels like it was made for a reason and that someone wanted to do it
Yeah.
and there's a story to tell and a message, while like Acolyte it feels like it's a checkbox. Okay, we need to do a show about Jedis. Check. Okay, let's do it. Go. Oh, we need a show about Luke Skywalker, check. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Everyone loves Boba Fett. Okay, let's check that bookmark.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I have this really cool
Yeah.
story about Boba Fett that I
agree.
wanna tell. I have passion for this character, and
Yeah.
I have this message about blah blah blah. No,
Yeah.
it's just
No, it's true. It's true. It's
that's
true.
the difference. Like, what's the message? What would you say that's a big message behind the book of Boba Fett, for example? Like, there is
Don't
no.
let your past define you.
I guess you can be
That's
good
it.
in the desert.
Well, you can reevaluate your life
I
after
guess.
your
Oh, I did
near-death
actually be good in
experience.
the desert.
Yeah, I
Damn.
suppose that's what it is. But
Yeah, I guess you had a lot of time to think in the Sarlacc pit. Like, I don't know what happens in there, you know?
Fuck. Him and Wickway, you know.
yeah, I feel like something.
Was it a naughty dream? I don't know. Was I in it? What the fuck, man? It's like you bet your ass
Eating
I
all
was
that
in it.
Tuscan
that's fresh in my
roadkill.
mind. I rewatched it yesterday. So
That's
it's fresh in
canon.
my
That's
mind.
headcanon right there.
I rewatched that. It was
That's
fresh in my
headcanon.
mind.
My lord.
My lord,
Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. It's
My lord.
fresh in my mind.
I mean,
watched it yesterday.
Robot Chick in Star Wars, it's like, it's
So
such a
good.
big part of the whole Star Wars. Like,
Making
it's
fun of
just
Star
so
Wars is
amazing.
part of Star Wars. Like, that's the thing. Like Star Wars has never been like. It's always been messy. It's always had contradictions, and it's always gonna have those things.
as long as it's good, it's okay.
Yeah, kind of.
Like Andor.
Yeah,
It
basically.
contradicts on the stuff, but it's good.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
I knew about the Benjamin Bratt casting 2 years ago,
Yeah, I have no problem.
but they didn't reveal
Yeah, I
who
have
he
no
was playing.
problems. It's
There
completely
was
fine.
some theories already.
The Bail
that he was
Organa recast.
replacing Jimmy Smits there, but
Yeah.
I didn't buy into it. I didn't think that was
Real.
more than just a rumor
Yeah.
until it was confirmed that they replaced him.
Yeah.
And I do feel that's the one little thing
Ah.
that's keeping it from me being seamless to
Mm.
Rogue One and to the movies. If Jimmy Smith was there, it's completely perfect. I would not even know that there's 10 years of difference between the show and the movie and all
Oh,
that.
I would know. I would have, because I remember seeing him in Obi-Wan. I was like, man's old, and it's noticeably old.
They didn't keep track on the continuity of the hair and wardrobe or something, or the makeup.
He's an older man, dude. It's just as simple as that. The guy's getting older. It's been 10 years since Rogue One. Sorry. He's
It
not going
has
to live
been.
forever, Pauli. He's going to die.
No, but that wasn't the issue there. But the
I'm
issue
just saying, for me, it would have stood out going from Andor and then into Rogue One. He's like 10 years younger.
But
Like,
that's.
it's been a day.
But why did they recast him then? It's not
He
because
was
he's
unavailable.
old.
He was literally filming like a different show.
And
Yeah, yeah.
Disney said, "Nah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not going to give you more money."
Budget and legacy characters cost more because they can ask for more.
So Kennedy said, "Get Benjamin Bratt."
I have no problem with the recast, honestly.
I don't mind Benjamin Bratt.
again, he's not such a big. He's not a big character, so for me, it's all right. Like,
They would have had to spend a lot of makeup and some CG to young him up. He would have had to. Otherwise, I'm sorry, going from the show to the next, right to the movie, you would have seen a difference. And
You can do that.
Sure, but again, like you said, budget. So not only would they have to get Jimmy Smith, but then also better makeup, and then also CG. That would have meant, forget about K2SO. So we got him some time between the movie and the show.
I liked how they did that though.
Sure.
That was good. He was chasing him. Was like the robot was gonna kill him, and then that becomes the best friend robot.
That's right.
yeah, he felt like a normal good guy, senator guy.
Not a problem for me.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Right? I guess it was just me then.
No, I'm sure other people are out there feeling that like
There's
they would have
probably
liked,
a lot of
but
other people as well.
If I gotta nitpick something, the rest is the
Yeah,
best Star
no,
Wars show ever.
that's fair. That's fair.
yeah, again, nitpicking is easy.
I
It's
get
the
it.
sister arc. The sister arc is one for me because since day one, I was like, how are you gonna do this? What is the point of this? And there was none in the grand scheme of things. I read a few things about him talking about all that stuff.
The sister arc, but isn't that just the inciting incident? That's the whole point of it.
Something set up there for me that was clearly more than just the inciting incident. And it's clear by Gilderoy talking about the writing that he wanted to introduce her in the second season or write his character story, but then if everything was flowing, he's like, fuck it.
Damn, they should have made 3 seasons. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. I bet we wouldn't have. You were very much like, maybe they will address it. The show will bring it back. The show's good at that. I'm like, the show is good at that, but I have a feeling in the grand scheme of the story and what we're going for, that's something that's an old piece.
I guess the only thing I was right about is that they brought it back just to kind of remind you that's what was the inciting incident.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing they did with it. And then they also surprised us by having some of these new characters surviving and going beyond and living through probably the
Mama
original.
Son's cousin, Kira,
Clea.
Jesus, Kira, someone else.
Yeah.
Wilma.
I guess
Wilma.
Biggs
Yeah,
and
Wilma.
Andor Jr.
Yeah, that's right, young Andor Jr. You mean Paul Dameron?
Nah,
It's
no,
so
don't you
stupid.
dare.
It's so stupid.
Well, that was the reveal that shows that, yes, I mean, there are other places where the legacy will continue. And that's the reason why she went away. She knew there was a child to protect, and the child that will see a better future, who will see a new hope. So
yeah,
that
and
was
then it
pretty
all
fitting
gonna
ending.
fall during the New Republic, and maybe her planet is one of those that got destroyed by the Starkiller base.
We don't talk about that.
We wait patiently for
Like
Disney to realize it's time to do another
Colonel
Legends.
Hux, and I guess Colonel Hux got away by destroying 7 planets by just saying, "Hey, I'm a good guy now," and the
Hux?
rebels were like,
well,
"Okay."
he dies. It's fine.
We don't talk about that.
It's fine.
Oh.
No, he has
I
the
don't
best
wanna-
line. I don't care if you win. I
No.
just want Kylo Ren to lose.
I don't want to do this. I don't
But
want to do this video.
But
I don't
he
wanna do this video
destroyed
anymore.
7 planets
Yeah.
and killed billions
Of
of
course he
billions
did.
of people. Did you forget about that part? By the way.
But he's helping us now. So
I don't want to do this video anymore. If we're talking about the secret trilogy.
Oh,
You made him sad.
Well-
You made him sad. There's so much out there for you to choose what you like and enjoy that like it becomes tiring to hate Star Wars at this point. I think I've come to the point where I just want to enjoy it and I'll just like the things I like and just not care about the things I don't because it's so much more fun
I mean,
when it's fun
yeah.
and it's good.
I
And
think that's the right take on it. Kind of like, for example, for me as well. I'm a pretty much Disney Star Wars, not a hater, but like, a lot of stuff I don't like, and at this point I just don't watch it. Before I would watch everything because it's Star Wars, it's like you gotta watch that shit.
Mhm.
But now it's like, no, I just watch the things I know I'm gonna like. Like, why even watch Acolyte? Why even watch
Whatever
Skeleton
else.
Crew? Like,
Oh,
Ah.
that was fun.
but if
you like
they
it.
do announce a show that's called like the Luke story,
Ah.
the Book of Luke, you know what I mean?
I'm
then
sold.
I
You
kind of
got
have
me.
to watch it.
You got me there.
Like the
Which
important
is the problem?
stuff.
It's when they do that. When
Yeah.
they, like Book of Obi-Wan, like that's a
Ah.
show where you kind of can't skip because such a
You
big
can, though.
character,
You can.
and then they
though.
do nothing with it, or not nothing, but they do shit.
nothing. I mean nothing.
But like, so it depends. If you have your side shows like the Cat Bane show, okay, who cares?
Enjoy
Watch
it.
it or not.
What are you looking at me for?
Same thing with
I don't
Acolyte
know.
and those.
Why am I looking at you?
But you have some storylines that everyone kind of has to watch, and those, you
Yeah.
can't skip, and those you have to do good. You can't fuck up. But so
No,
far, it's only
no,
been,
no,
I think, Obi-Wan. That's been one of those.
Yeah.
Like, and
Hmm.
Book of Boba too, because Boba Fett's also such a classical
Yeah.
character. But otherwise, yeah, you can get away with most anything. Ahsoka, like, she's only been introduced anyway in the TV shows, and the Clone Wars is also like, so much stuff happens in Clone Wars that is so thematically different. So like, whatever they do in the Ahsoka show, it probably works anyway with the character because Rebels and Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
There's so much that's untouched, uncovered.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's pray that the right people
Right.
with the stories
That's the
in
thing.
mind
That's the thing.
get the jobs that
Right.
they should be.
not
getting.
just the oh, we got to make a Boba Fett story. Okay, well I can make this cool Tusken part and then I don't know, just do some dumb.
Just wanted to point out something a little funny. You kept saying Gilderoy throughout
Oh.
the whole video
Fuck.
when talking about Tony Gilroy. And do you know why you said Gilderoy?
No.
Is
Why?
it that reference to Harry Potter?
I mean, I recognize the name from Harry Potter, but I guess my dyslexia at big peak.
Who's Gilderoy from Harry Potter?
The Kenneth Branagh's character.
Yeah. Just a little funny thing you keep saying.
Oh, he's the best character in
Yeah,
in
fair.
Potter.
This was almost like a
Damn
Reddit media moment. Where like, Rich, you keep saying Chris Helmsworth. It's Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
Gilderoy
Now you
is
gotta
Tony
apologize
Gilroy's
to
Star Wars
Tony.
name.
Tony Gilderoy.
Yeah, you gotta apologize to Tony Gilderoy,
Gilderoy.
who thinks that you're talking
And what was
about
they saying?
Gilderoy. You said Gilderoy.
And what's his real name?
Gilroy.
Gilroy. Oh my God. Yeah, I could barely. I was like, you're saying the same thing. I'm not hearing it. What the hell am I doing wrong? Oh, okay.
I realized, I think
Gilroy,
the second time
Gilroy.
you said it, oh, David is saying Gilderoy
Oh.
because Harry Potter
The
reference.
dyslexia, baby.
I'm gonna let him be. I'm gonna let him be about
Should
it.
have told me. The
I'm gonna
dyslexia,
let
baby. I've been saying it for months, for years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck. I was like, yeah, Gilderoy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was just a funny little thing. You know.
Oh, damn.
It's not scolding. It's just a funny thing.
Scold me.
No,
Okay.
I'm not scolding you, but I'm scolding you. But this is funny.
but we also want to know your opinions about Andor TV show. So please tell us that and let us know in the comments too.
Did you hate Mon Mothma? No.
Don't nobody ever dare criticize Luthen. Okay?
He's a hero.
Yeah, join in for the talks.
Never
for
in
the
my
rants,
presence disrespect Luthen.
Oh my
okay?
god.
for the passion that we
Of
have
the Christ.
for these
Oh.
universes.
We'll see you next time with more.
Let's not tease
Please.
what's next.
I don't even know
because
what's next.
Subscribe.
sometimes I can't deliver on that.
No, we won't deliver to you anything. Leave.
If there's anything you want us to talk about, like send that in, put it in a comment too. Like we'll do an episode about that. We'll even bring you in if you want to.
Yeah,
So,
I'll talk about Boyhood.
This was a channel that opened up.
we have opened up a lot.
Q&A, live Q&A.
We're gonna get one
Reddit
question.
/ ask us anything.
Yeah.
We'll answer it. I think I'm afraid. Do it.
Let us know.
Hey, do
Oh, he's gonna check on the Death Star plans.
Oh my god.
May the
And
force
Pauli,
be
did you
with
see
you,
there's a
that's
hole here.
all.
They're gonna blow it up. Oh my god. We gotta close this up.
Andor, nothing but Andor. It's such a great show.
Is it over?
I hope so.
Okay, I'm cutting. Cut.
David, you're not cutting it.
Oh, there it is.
Oh my god, it's episode 1 all over again. Reflect yourself. It's like poetry. Like, oh. But I like the movie actually. It was pretty good. And we'll see you in the next Step Films review.
The next Rio show.
No. Are we gonna get sued now? I hope you're happy. Where's the button to stop this shit? Wait, I'll do it. No. Keep this in.